But one of the problem is that because that is with China, but if it is with the US, Japan, Australia, I think there people will not talking about that, right? Prime Minister Hun Manet being the Prime Minister of Cambodia is very important and is the good fortunate for Cambodia. And I like him, I support him, and I listen to his voice in public space almost all the times when he speaks in public space. Your question, why China? Because China, they open, they are happy for the cooperation, and other country they don't propose. If they propose, I believe that would be most welcome by Cambodian government.
Hi everyone. Today our guest is Sam Sun, a political analyst at the Royal Academy of Cambodia. Welcome to the show.
Hi, yes, thank you so much for your invitation. Yep.
Cambodia is really an interesting place, a lot to discuss. I would like to start with the economy. Your country has had a fantastic economic development over the last few decades. So since 94, average annual GDP growth rate was almost 7%, at its peak in 2005 reaching even over 13. Please tell us a little bit more about how you achieved such a development, and are there any dangers lying ahead of the country?
Yes, thank you so much for your invitation, and I'm so happy that I can join in your wonderful talk and wonderful discussion today. First, I just would like to clarify that I'm not the expert in the economic, but I would like to share with you my understanding on the Cambodia economy. Actually, I'm sure you know that we Cambodia is a member of ASEAN country, and Cambodia is a small country located in between Thailand and Vietnam. And Cambodia, we have been through different wars, including civil wars and also sometimes the invaded wars from other countries. That is the brief history of Cambodia. So, but luckily, Cambodia, we have so many attractive tourism sites. For example, we have the World Heritage Temple, Angkor Wat Temple, and we have many natural resources that are very beneficial for the development of Cambodia. And one of the main important things that I have to mention is that because Cambodia is the developing country and we have so many young people, around 60 people of Cambodian population, are the people that are under 40s. And this is the time that Cambodia will enjoy peace and stability, although we have some problems inside the country, but there are peace and stability and tourism and the increase of the young people and also the member of ASEAN countries and also the smart foreign policy of Cambodia that Cambodia become the good friends of all countries in the world, including the US, China, Australia, ASEAN, and EU. So those are the main points that before the COVID-19, Cambodia economic always grows like 7% every single year. But I'm sure you know that because even though before the outbreak, before the pandemic, Cambodia, we enjoy the economic growth for 7%. But after the COVID-19, after the pandemic, Cambodia as well as other countries around the world face the problems. So after the COVID-19, Cambodia and the neighboring countries or other countries are facing the tough times to restore the economics growth. Yeah, thank you.
Most experts perceive Cambodia just through the prism of cooperation with China, but I think it probably takes away a lot from the effort of Cambodians, and I guess there is more to it. I think there is a lot of Chinese investment, but I think that's not the secret behind Cambodia's success, right?
No, actually, I want to inform you that I travel many countries around the world, including, I mean, in June I was in Australia, I was in the US, South Korea, Japan, and China, and other ASEAN country, uh, and for the international conference for the discussion. Cambodia has enjoyed a good relationship with Japan, South Korea, China, the US. But the problem is that because I think the world or other country just worry too much about China. I can say that because Cambodia is a small country, and yeah, I have to say Cambodia has a good relationship with China, but it does not mean that Cambodia did not have good relation with other countries. Cambodia has a very good relationship with South Korea, Japan, Australia, the US, and ASEAN countries. Let me tell you, the Cambodia export its products to the US like 46.4%. I mean, the US is the main market for Cambodia to sell the product. And Cambodia, we exported a lot from China, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, the US, and other countries. And one of the biggest problem that make the world worry is that China used the word communist. I mean, people are not happy with the word communist. But that is just for me. That is my own understanding, my personal idea. I think people worry about China and talk negatively about China, but at the same time they make the big trade and big business exchange with China. But one of the biggest mistake of Cambodian government is that their their voice is too low. Their voice is too small, so they are not good enough to explain the reality of Cambodia to the world. So I think my suggestion to Cambodian government is to invest more on scholars or to invest more on the qualified people to spread the real voice of Cambodia. Because let me go back to the question again. That is very normal because the media from the outside world is too big and they like to describe negatively about Cambodia and China and then ignore the relation of Cambodia with Japan. So let me inform you one of the very important point is that Japan and South Korea, besides China, Japan and South Korea are the two countries that supported Cambodia a lot, supported like the bridge infrastructure. How I would say the neighboring country, Vietnam, Thailand, are also the good friends of Cambodia. But the mindset of the people and how they receive the information that makes some people call Cambodia. Sometimes they call Cambodia as a China client state. If you read some articles, you will see some writer, some scholar would say Cambodia is a China client state, but that is very normal. So in terms of in that case, I think Cambodian government need more qualified people and need more people to explain, to talk the real situation of Cambodia to the outside world. Yep, thank you.
Studio Asia is an independent channel. I am neither looking for sponsors, nor asking you for donations. I value much more your comment under this interview. It means a lot to me, a lot. Subscribing and sharing helps me to be promoted by YouTube. I will appreciate it very, very much.
Because there is a tension now regarding the FUNAN TECHO Canal. Of course, it's good for your country because it lowers the economic burden paying to Vietnam and relying on the logistics. But there is also this security angle, which again, some experts keep saying this might be used by the Chinese military. Please tell us a little bit more about the economic importance for your country and about the theory that it might be used by Chinese military.
First, we have to understand. I've been to Vietnam like 4 or 5 different times. First, we have to say Cambodia and Vietnam, we are the neighboring countries. And people, we have to clarify if we talk on the highest level, I mean the Cambodian government and the Vietnamese government, they enjoy the good relationship with each other. But because of the history, I don't say Vietnamese people are wrong, and we cannot say Cambodian people are wrong. But that is the mindset of the people because of the history. Because if you go back to the history, like 50 years ago or 100 years ago, usually the neighboring countries around the world, not only here in Cambodia, but even if you talk to Korean people and Japanese, and if you talk to French and Germany, the neighboring countries, they always fight, or they always compete with each other because of the sovereignty, and also because of the sometimes they invade each other. So somehow in this case, the history of Cambodia in the past, after the French colony, we have to say Cambodia lost its sovereignty to Vietnam, and also lost its sovereignty to Thailand. But that is the history, right? That is the history. Because in Vietnam we have like Cambodia ground. You will see many Cambodian people still live there, and in Thailand you have Suran. You will see a lot of Cambodian people live there. So that is the history of Cambodia. I think that is very dangerous if we use nationalism or other case to get support from the people. I mean, the Funan Techo Canal is very important for Cambodia, and Cambodian really need the Funan Techo for the development inside Cambodia. The Funan Techo, it is about the economic, it is about the internal improvement of Cambodia. It is not about the Chinese military. That is too small. How can Chinese military
Yes,
use that
yes.
that small canals? I think,
I know it's only 100 meters wide, so it's
yeah,
not really a big channel.
yeah,
I've watched it. Yes,
yeah, and the dip is just 4 or 5.
yes,
It
yes.
is,
Five
that
meters.
is,
Yes, yes,
yeah, that is too small. But
yes,
we have to say that is the, I would say that is the psychology competition, or that is the geopolitical competition. We have to say Vietnamese and Vietnam and China, they are the neighboring countries. Most of the time they have conflict in the South China Sea issue, but the trade relation, the trade exchange between China and Vietnam are too big, very big, even bigger than the whole ASEAN countries. So they are very smart, right? They pretend to be compete, but at the same time they make very big business with each other. Cambodia is the first country in the Mekong that stopped building the dams along the Mekong River in 2020. Cambodian is the first country, uh, Cambodian government at that time, led by Hun Sen, Prime Minister Hun Sen at that time. In Laos, Cambodia officially announced that Cambodia will never build the dams
yes.
along the Mekong River since 2020. And right now, we have only 2 dams in the Mekong countries. So if other countries care about the environment, environmental destruction, they should look at what they do in the Mekong rivers, how many dams they have, and how many dams Cambodia have. Cambodia is too small, so Cambodia care about the environment. So just go back to your question. Uh, the Funan Techo is very important for the economic development of Cambodia. We don't have our own canals. Cambodia just try to have one small canals to improve its shipment road, to improve its economic capacity. Vietnam, how many canals they have? You can go, you can search. You will see they have more and more. So just go back. The Funan Techo is very important for the economic development of Cambodia. The majority of Cambodian people, I can say almost all people of Cambodian people at all levels, including me, we strongly support the Phnom Techo Canal because it is important for Cambodia economy. It is important for the development of Cambodia, and it will be the good starting point from to connect Cambodia and other ASEAN countries in the region. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. My last question related to politics is how do you evaluate your prime minister's first year in office? Because it's been like August 22nd, yes, when
Yes.
he's been 1 year in office. So how do you see this transition from father to son?
I think first, as a man with I mean I am a man with a PhD and I study political science. And our Prime Minister Hun Manet, he is the man with a PhD. He got his PhD from Bristol University in the UK.
Yes.
So that is why I believe that Prime Minister Hun Manet being the Prime Minister of Cambodia is very important and is the good fortunate for Cambodia. And I like him. I support him, and I listen to his voice in public space almost all the times when he speaks in public space. There are two different points that the world pay too much attention on Hun Manet. Is that the first one is that they like to compare Hun Manet and his brother Hun Sen because the our former Prime Minister Hun Sen was the prime minister for 38 years. That is too long, right? So that is why uh, Hun Sen, the former prime minister, he has tackled a lot of challenges and problems, and he is very experienced in country leadership because of the long-term leadership in the position as a prime minister. And then when Hun Manet come in the position as the prime minister, people like to compare, wow, what will be the differences between Hun Sen and Hun Manet? That is one point, is the comparison. It is hard, right? When you compare the father and the son, it is very hard. And another main problem is that because even though Hun Manet, he is the man with a PhD degree, but he come to be the prime minister to lead a small country that is very important for the powerful for the powerful countries geopolitical competition. I mean, because we Cambodia is very small, but we are the good friend of China, and we also the good friend of the United States. I have to say, United States and Cambodia established a diplomatic relation on 11 July 1953, and our diplomatic relation with China is in 1958. So it means that the United States come first to Cambodia, but Cambodia enjoyed a good relation with both, with all countries, including China and the U.S. The U.S. is very important. Cambodia exported a lot to the US. And China have Cambodia at all times, for many times, that China have Cambodia. But when the US and China they compete each other, and Cambodia we are in the middle, we want to be the good friend of China, and at the same time we want to be the good friend of the US, but we still small. So it is very hard to balance yourself when the two big powers they compete with each other. So that is the two main problems for Hun Manet. But if we talk about his achievement, I would say one point that I like the most is that he used and he promoted the young qualified official to be the position. That is one I love the most. Second, the ability to maintain peace and stability inside the country. And number three, during his 1 year, Hun Manet, he went to different countries. He tried his best to attract foreign investors to come and invest in Cambodia. He went to China, Vietnam, France, South Korea, Australia, the United Nations, Malaysia, Thailand, to address his message and also to persuade, to convince foreign investors to come here in Cambodia. I think he is very a man with a long-term strategic vision to develop Cambodia because we Cambodia enjoy a lot of good relationship with other countries. So there are a lot of his achievement, but I am very positive about the future leadership of Cambodia. So I am very positive for his leadership during the last year and also in the upcoming years. But however, not everything go without problems, right? There are opportunity and problems that happen for him, for Honmanat, as well as for other countries. But it it would based on your own capacity and your own ability to tackle the problems. Yep.
This is the channel where world's top experts on Asian politics and security discuss recent and future events.
The cooperation with China, for example, the Rem naval base, okay, and recent provision of 2 warships. So why does Cambodia need it? Why is it necessary for your country to cooperate so strongly with China?
I think if I have to say on behalf of the Cambodian government, but unfortunately, I'm not a spokesman of the Cambodian government. I mean, it is very normal for all countries to strengthen their own military cooperation or to strengthen their own military capacity. But one of the problem is that because that is with China, but if it is with the U.S., Japan, Australia, I think there are people will not talking about that, right? But that is with China. But please understand, if without China, which country will provide the support? But but if you know, during this few days, the elect president of Indonesia came to visit Cambodia. Indonesia also provided like military cooperation with Cambodia. They give the gun, they support the guns to Cambodia from Indonesia. But it seemed like people not interested about that because that is Indonesia. And then during the last year, no, recently, Cambodian high-ranking officer went to Japan, Russia, and right now, today, our Senate President Hun Sen is in South Korea. Is in South Korea right now. But people are not worried about that because people just worry about China. But because China they open for the cooperation with Cambodia. I give you one example before this. Indonesia support the gun, also military cooperation with Cambodia. And Cambodia is very pleased to accept that military cooperation with Indonesia, with Singapore, with other countries. That would be most welcome by Cambodian government if they provide. But the only thing is that they don't come, they don't provide the support, but then just worry. I would say just worry. People just worry. You worry about China, but they don't provide the support for Cambodia. Cambodia always want to have the good relation with Thailand, with Vietnam, with Laos, with all countries. But why we cannot improve ourselves while our friends they improve themselves a lot? And why they worry about China? If they worry, I believe they should support Cambodia. They propose the cooperation. I believe that the military cooperation with other countries, the US, EU, Australia, and other countries would be most welcomed by Cambodian government. So, if in short, in response to your question, why China? Because China they open, they are happy for the cooperation, and other country they don't propose. If they propose, I believe that would be most welcome by Cambodian government. One last example and one real example is the military cooperation between Cambodia and Indonesia. They come, they welcome by Cambodian government. Yes, thank you.
Good. Thank you very much for your insights. It was really interesting. I'm glad I had the opportunity to talk to someone from Cambodia. Very, very interesting place. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for your invitation. It is my honor to talk and to express my idea here. Thank you so much.
I have so many other explosive interviews on this and similar topics. Please check out my channel.